What's going on? Troy Roberts here with another video. Today I'm excited to be working on cover art for my creator-owned comic Teach. It's a passion project of mine I've been working on for several years now. I did a 5-issue arc, now I'm getting ready to put it together as a trade, and I thought it needed a little freshening up on the cover art. I wanted to do something that I hadn't used in the previous issues, so I wanted to specifically something for this trade edition. I kept thinking about art from comic creator and artist Francis Manapul. He's got a very graphic design inspired style that he uses for a lot of comics, for a lot of comic covers. I'm specifically inspired by some of his Batman Detective Comics covers. They've got a nice blend of great illustration with really skillful graphic design that I think really stands out and makes a pretty bold statement. So I'm going to try and recreate that. So let's get over to the drawing table and see how well we do. Come on. Alright, so I've already got my outlines done of my design, and I'm starting on the finer pencil work. So my idea for this was I wanted to do a graphic design kind of style. Like I said before, inspired by Francis Manapul. Since the comic book takes place in the state of Florida, it being in Florida is a big part of the story and the narrative. I wanted to bring that into the cover, and since guns is a pretty big element in the story, I wanted to incorporate that as well. So I decided to kind of merge the outline of the shape of Florida into a handgun. You can see the lower part of Florida is almost like the handle, the grip of the handgun, and the upper that I have the character Kobe laying on, that is the barrel of the handgun. And then I have a couple characters showing up inside the state. I don't know, I thought this was a fun little way to do things. I like the idea. I like that kind of more design-inspired aspect instead of it just being a straight-up traditional comic illustration. This is Kobe here that I'm working on. Gotta get those Converse in there. Now I'm laying out the gun, getting it detailed in. You can't see it, but just off screen, right above me, I've got my phone out and I've got a photo for reference. Don't normally rely too much on reference for drawing the guns, but since I was doing, such an important piece of the overall drawing, I wanted to make sure it looked really convincing. And I also did the same thing for the outline of the state. I looked at a bunch of different references and found one that I liked the most. decided to use it, so I had that just off screen as well. Had an accident. I didn't record the first part of me inking Socrates, the guy who's holding the book. Yeah, so thought I was recording. Apparently I did not hit the button, but I got the rest of it, and that's the important part. I got something, right? Starting out inking the majority of the lines with a brush. I like a brush. I get quite a bit of control with a brush. With a good one, I can go nice and thick, but I can also do fairly thin lines. But as you'll notice, I still come back for lines like I want on the gun. I went through a micron. I wanted to be able to get I didn't want a whole lot of variation in the line work on that, so it was something that wasn't going to get real thick or real thin on me too easily. I did some of the detailing, mostly hatch work, throughout the illustration. Then you will see me come in and try to do some of the finer details of the faces and whatnot with a pen nib. Detail that gun out, make it look like it's metal. Here I am with the pen and nib. And a nice splotch. That's always fun. But I carry on. I like to save the faces for last because I feel like they're the most important part and they're the easiest to mess up. So I like to get good and warmed up before I even touch them. And even on some of the elements, I'm not 100% happy with on the faces on this illustration. I feel like I didn't. I feel like some of the lines got a little too thick, but it works. It's not terrible. Came out good. Erase everything, all the lines. That splotch is still there. That's alright, I'll come back with a marker. It's a Posca acrylic paint marker I'm using. Works really nice. And that is the video. Thanks you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.